Hey y'all, so it is Friday now and I have got some exciting news. So last week I got an email from somebody and she said that she was downtown at her work office, I think, and she saw one of my pieces in this building and she really loved my artwork and she was inquiring if I did commissions or if I had any paintings for sale. And so I sent her the pieces that I had available and she said that her and her husband really liked Peace Be Still right here. And they said they were really interested in purchasing Peace Be Still, and they asked if they could come by to the studio and see it, and once they saw it, they will most likely be buying it. So that's really exciting news. I'm like 80% sure I'm gonna sell this painting. Like if they come here and it looks how I guess they want it to look, then I think they're gonna buy it. Like, you know, they asked about payment options and everything like that. So they're actually coming tomorrow on Saturday, and I want to get Peace Be Still ready for them just in case they take her home and purchase her when they come. So part of that is varnishing the painting. So I always varnish my paintings. And in the past, I've actually used this like spray varnish. If you guys have watched my videos, you've seen me use this before. And I typically use this because it's a lot easier than like the traditional way to varnish paintings. You just spray it on and wait for it to dry, spray it a couple more times and you're good to go. But I find with that method that the actual varnish isn't varnishing as much as I would like it to, if you know what I mean. Like the coverage isn't as glossy. Like it's there, but it's not there. And I'm like, I always think like, does it really protect this painting as much as I think it will? I feel like the traditional varnish might work better. So I am trying that today for the first time, using actual like pour paint on varnish, because I think it will be better than the spray, and you know, I think it will elevate my pieces more so that when people buy them, they actually last and stay protected for longer. So I'm gonna be trying this out for the first time with you guys. And yesterday I went out and I bought all the supplies. I did so much research on YouTube, like watching what other artists on YouTube were doing, and I saw a lot of good tutorials and advice from a few artists. So I'll actually link the videos to the artists' videos that I watched that were like explaining how they did it. So I'm gonna try it now and we'll see how it goes. I'm kind of nervous, but yeah. Okay guys, so I chose to get the satin varnish because I don't like too much of a gloss, because I don't want the painting to be reflective in the light. Like I don't want it to be shiny and then you can't really see the painting. And matte is too dull, but satin is basically in the middle. So that's why I got this satin varnish. So the method I'm going to try is called like the wipe method. And basically most people use a brush to brush their varnish onto their paintings, but I am really nervous of having brush marks from brushing the varnish being left on the painting, and then all you see are these like varnish brush strokes, and it takes away from the brush strokes of the actual painting. Some people have also used like a sponge, and I thought about that, but then I saw reviews that like sometimes the sponge will leave bubbles of the varnish on the painting, so I was nervous about that. But the best method that I researched so far was the wipe method. So I have this old t-shirt right here. It's actually an old M.Falconer t-shirt, and they suggest using a white t-shirt so that like the color of the shirt doesn't transfer on your painting. So I'm basically gonna cut up this t-shirt and use the t-shirt as my cloth, and it's a cotton shirt, so there's no lint on the shirt. That's very important. You don't want any lint being left on your painting. So I'm gonna cut up this shirt and try this varnish. Okay, so before I do this for real, I'm actually gonna practice. So I have this painting, it's an old painting I did years ago, And it's this painting of my dad, and I did this, I think 2015, maybe 2014 is when I painted this. So it's never been varnished. So I'm gonna use this as a practice because I don't wanna do it for the first time on my masterpiece here in case I mess it up. So if I mess it up, at least I could fix this. I don't think I'll mess up though, but I just wanna practice like the technique and everything. So this is the practice. There's actually a lot of dust on this, I noticed. So I'm just wiping it with water and a paper towel, because you can't varnish it with it looking all dusty. Okay, y'all, so I'm going to mix the varnish with half water, and according to the label, you're actually not supposed to do this. It literally says do not thin with water. So if you're gonna copy what I'm doing, this is a disclaimer, it might not be the best idea, but every video that I watched of people doing this method, they diluted it with water. And it worked out for them. So I'm just gonna follow what they were doing because it worked for them. So, and that's why I'm testing it out, just to make sure it works. They recommend you use filtered water. So I have a water filter for the tap. You could buy distilled water. So I'm mixing it with half filtered water and then half the varnish, and then I'm gonna mix it up, and then I'm just gonna pour it on and wipe it on the canvas, and we'll hope it works. Basically, let's just go for it. So let me pour. Okay, so I see them usually just pour it directly on the canvas. So that's what I'm gonna do. Hopefully we don't mess this up. Okay, let's just go for it. Okay, y'all, that was an experience. So a couple things I noticed off the bat is when I first put it on, I don't know if the camera was picking this up, it was like a milky cut, like milky, and I was worried it was gonna stay that way, but as I spread it around and it kind of dried, it dried clear, so that was good. Another thing I noticed is that if you look at this cloth, the paint actually came off onto the cloth. Luckily, like, it didn't spread on the whole painting, but that's a little bit concerning. I don't know if it's the paint or the varnish or the cloth, I don't know. And the third thing is this cloth actually was leaving some lint as I was wiping it. So like the whole point of me using a t-shirt was to avoid lint, but that did not seem to work. Like lint was still coming off. I don't know why. Like even now, like there's pieces of lint on the painting right now. So it was a good thing that I practiced, because I might be freaking out right now if I was finding all of this out on my actual real painting. But the actual coverage of the varnish itself looks good. I'm looking at it right now. I don't see any streaks from like wiping it, which is what I was trying to avoid. And it does have a satin finish, like it has a nice finish. I don't know if the camera would pick it up, but it does have like a sheen to it now. Like this is it now. What I'm trying to do is like a few thin coats, and it says you're supposed, so it says you have to wait 3 hours between each coat. So I'm gonna wait a bit and I'm gonna figure out another cloth to use that doesn't leave the lint. But yeah, let's leave this to dry and then we'll come back. Okay y'all, so it has been 3 hours, and I went to Canadian Tire and I got an actual lint-free cheesecloth. So hopefully this one works a lot better. So I'm gonna try it out and we're gonna do a second coat on the test. Okay, so this time went a lot better. You guys can kind of see the finish a little bit. It went pretty well. This stuff is the truth. If you're ever gonna try this, use this cloth because it 100% worked. The paint did come off of it a bit, so I don't know, I guess the reds in this just were coming off. And I feel like I poured a little bit too much on there because I had to squeeze some out in the cup. So now I know to put like a bit less of the varnish, but there's no streaks. There are no streaks from wiping it, and it went on evenly and the finish looks great. So I think that was a success. I think I'm ready to varnish the main piece right here, Peace Be Still. Yeah, I feel like I could varnish her confidently without messing it up now. So let's do it because I want to do a couple coats. So yeah, let's start that. Okay, so I'm gonna use this really fluffy brush that I have to just dust off the canvas if there's any dust on here. Okay, y'all, that was a little bit nerve-wracking. That wasn't too bad. I don't know if you guys saw, so like once I started doing it, I noticed some like strings from the cheesecloth came out. I guess when I cut it, it like loosened up some strings. So once I started wiping it, they came out. Then I'm like trying to get rid of these random strings, and then I noticed like the places that the varnish was like a different color, and I didn't want it to be splotchy, so I'm like frantically spreading everything around, and then like the cheesecloth didn't feel like it was like big enough, and then I felt like I was running out of varnish, and I felt like I had to move really fast, so I started to get nervous. But overall, it worked out. I originally wasn't planning on doing the edges, but then I saw like the varnish was spilling over the edges and you could tell like it was changing the color, so I just did all of the edges so that it would be uniform, and I guess maybe that's best. Maybe I should do the edges anyways. So yeah, it looks good, it looks safe, it's not ruined. That's all I care about. So this is the finish after like 1 coat of varnish. You guys can kind of see the light there after 1 coat. So I'm gonna let it dry for the 3 hours, and then I'm gonna do a 2nd coat. But I think I wanna go back to the store and get a new type of cloth. Like when I was there, I saw they had another cloth and I picked the cheesecloth one, but I think I wanna go back and get that one because it comes in pieces and I don't have to worry about like strings coming off while I'm trying to varnish the piece. And like this piece is bigger than the practice piece that's down here, so I felt like I need a bigger cloth for this size canvas, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. All right, y'all, so I went back to Canadian Tire and I picked up the other lint-free cloths, and then I went to the gym, you know, leg day. And now I'm back. It's pretty late. It's like after 10 p.m. That's why I'm in my nighttime clothes right now. But basically, I tested out the new cloths on my test painting over here, and it worked pretty well, I think. There was no random strings coming out, and it didn't pick up as much paint as the other cloths did, so I think I'm good to go to try it on Peace Be Still. So that's what we're gonna do right now, and hopefully we'll be done after this. Hey y'all, so it is the next day. It's about 11:30-ish and my clients are coming in like half an hour. I'm low-key nervous but also excited. So the Peace Be Still painting is varnished and finished and ready to go. I really like the finish of like the satin varnish that I got. It's like not too glossy, but it still pops in the light. So yeah, satin is it's the best one in my opinion. I'm not sure if I fully like the rag method, the wiping method of application compared to the spray that I usually use. In terms of the process, like I like the spray better. Spraying it is easier, faster. The only downside is you have to be in a well-ventilated area or you have to go outside. And I live in Canada, so majority of the year it's too cold to go outside, and my studio's not that well ventilated, so it's kind of inconvenient to be spraying. So I'm unsure if I want to continue with this method. I noticed after, like, once you put the varnish on, for some reason, micro particles just feel the need to stick themselves to the painting, and like from a regular distance, like you can't notice it, but I am very particular. So I'm like up this close to the painting and I see like these micro particles that are now stuck in the varnish because of I don't know. This has happened when I spray it on before, but because the spray doesn't dry as quickly, I have a chance to like pick out any random micro particles that will stick to the varnish afterwards. So I want to try another method. I want to try the sponge method. I want to try it for myself and just see and compare. So like I'm not sure if I would 100% recommend to try what I did in this video. I'm gonna explore more options. This was like first time doing this method just to see it. It turned out good. Like I'm not mad at it, but I feel like there's a better way, you know? Anyways, so yeah, collectors are coming soon. They're most likely gonna buy the painting, so I prepared the other items that comes with the painting. So let me show you guys. So the painting also comes with this certificate of authenticity. So I printed it out and signed it and all that. And then I got a thank you card. And then I got stickers. So these stickers aren't even out yet, but I thought it'd be cool. They got that one. This one's out, the Love Yourself sticker there. So they're getting that, and then I stamped my own envelope with my own logo stamp, so I'm gonna put everything in there. And then they told me that they were also eyeing the Issa Rae original painting, which is right over here. So they were kind of interested in Issa Rae, but decided to go with Peace Be Still. So I'm just gonna give them this gift. It's just a 11 by 14 Issa Rae print, because I know they like it. So I'm just gonna give it to them as a gift, because why not? Yeah, I'm just sitting here patiently waiting for them to come. I got the bubble wrap and the glassine paper down here to package the painting, and then I have this huge box to put it in so they could take it home. So I'm just waiting for them to come, and hopefully it all goes well.